I'm Army Vet, and welcome to Star Wars Battlefront 2. As a returning player myself, there are quite a few things about the game I had to either remember when to do or how to do. This game has so many characters, weapons, star cards, and tactics to remember, it can be a bit frustrating if you're new or returning like I was to the game. This video is going to be directed at the 4 base infantry classes, or to be more precise, overall gameplay as those 4 classes. There are 15 tips in this video that will make your gameplay better and a much more enjoyable experience. Let's face it, nobody wants to play a game and not have fun, right? Having fun's the point. Playing well makes the game more exciting and entertaining, and that's what we want. Remember to hit the like button, the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, leave a comment because it does help the channel grow, and enjoy the video. Tip number 1, co-op battles are best for leveling up weapons, characters, and the only way to gain new weapons like the E11 and T21. Co-op mode gives you a ton of targets to get the kills required to level your weapons and characters. To track how you're doing with these achievements, go to the main page, click on the Career tab, then select Troopers. Listed there are all the achievement requirements you need to gain these weapons along with all the upgrades to all the weapons in the base infantry classes. Tip number 2, make sure you use the right weapon for the job. All weapons in the infantry classes have stats that will tell you what that weapon is particularly good at. For example, the Assault Class CR2 submachine gun is great for up-close fighting, like say in Jabba's Palace. It would be horrible on, say, Hoth or Kashyyyk, where the maps are wide open. But the NT-242 rifle for the Specialist class would be more suited for a wide open map like Hoth or Kashyyyk, and the 282 CFE would be better for Jabba's Palace because of its high rate of fire and medium range. The point is to get to know what weapons work in what ranges and what maps have those ranges more widely available. You can also obviously switch as you get killed during the game to suit the needs of the particular phase of the map. Tip number 3 is play the objective. I've seen a lot of players just hanging back and trying to shoot the enemy from long distances. This does not win the game. Taking the objective does. You will also gain a lot more battle points from being at the objective, whether you're the defender or the attacker, period. Now, if you're going to want to kill just the bad guys, guess where you're going to find the majority of them? Assaulting the objective. This is true in any mode of the game. Even the AI tries to take the objective. Tip number 4. Kills while you're on the objective area, or the enemy is, give bonus battle points. If you look at your minimap, you'll see a dashed boundary around the objectives. You want to be in that boundary or get a kill on an enemy while they are in that boundary for this bonus. Tip number 5, always check the minimap. The minimap in Battlefront 2 is not the all-telling UI like you see in some games. However, it will tell you where the enemy is coming from and how close they are getting. The brighter the red indicator is, the closer they are. You can tell where to go to engage the enemy or where you need to concentrate your firepower to defend. This is a great piece of information to have, especially when you are on the objective. Tip number 6, buff yourself before attacking. Some examples of this are the Officer's Improved Battle Command ability or Yoda's Presence. The Improved Battle Command grants you an additional 50 points, for example, and it also buffs the teammates around you. More health is always a good thing when you're getting into a firefight or you're going to assault the objective. Tip number 7. Strafe while you're shooting an enemy. Doing this makes you more difficult to track and therefore harder to kill. Do not, however, move in only one direction. This makes it easier for them to actually hit you and kill you. Try to move in random directions as best you can and get used to shooting at the enemy while you're doing this. This is a key skill in this game and should not be overlooked. Tip number 8. Hip fire at point blank and medium range. When charging into the fray or the enemy is charging at you, it is more effective to hip fire than aim. While aiming, your weapon's movement speed is slowed down significantly and you will not be able to keep up with the target as they advance. Switching to the normal reticle and hip firing allows you to move your weapon faster and keep up with most targets as they move. Tip number 9. Know when to use the manual cooldown and when to wait for the yellow zone on the cooldown bar. Under most situations, the manual cooldown is the way to go. Shooting until your weapon overheats will leave you extremely vulnerable for a good amount of time until it runs down the cooldown timer. Manual cooldown only takes a second or two and then you're ready to keep firing. There is an exception to the rule. In my opinion, the best time to wait for the cooldown and get the buff that allows your weapon to fire without gaining any heat for a set amount of time is when you're in a big fight at distance and there are teammates around you so that you're not exposed and an easy target to kill that can't shoot back. Tip number 10. Use dodge and the cooldown for your weapon at the same time. This is a big lifesaver for a couple of reasons. The first is the amount of time it takes for you to dodge or roll is about the same amount of time it takes you to manually reload. The second is it makes you harder to hit. When you shoot across the ground, because dodge allows you to move faster than you normally can, you're a harder target to hit. Tip number 11. Use the high ground whenever possible. This is obviously situational, as not all maps have a high ground. Anything elevated counts for this though. It is far easier to shoot down on an enemy than it is to shoot them face to face. One reason is that the vast majority of players get fixated on what's directly in front of them and forget to look up. Tip number 12 and 13 go hand in hand. This is a two-part tip for heavies and anyone facing them. The heavy class of infantry can equip a shield, much like the shield used by soldiers in the past, knights, so forth. It protects them from a huge amount of damage by covering a large amount of their body. However, it has a weakness. It does not cover the legs completely. Shoot the heavy's feet when they're using their combat shield and you will negate the shield's effectiveness. The second part of this, or tip 13, is directed at you heavy players. When you have the shield up, crouch. This allows the shield to cover up much more of your body, leaving only a small gap between the bottom of your shield and the ground, which makes you harder to hit and therefore harder to kill. Tip number 14. When dealing with those pesky vehicle players, remember that you get bonus damage for shooting the back of the vehicles, much like a headshot on a player. So shoot and maneuver is the name of the game. Get behind them and open fire. Now the big boys, the AT AT and the AT M6, are vulnerable from underneath and will take more damage if shot while you are under them. You'll also gain more battle points for using these tactics. Tip number 15. This tip is for those who want to play the hero or villain classes. Once you gain the 4,000 battle points for your favorite character, respawn and grab them. For heroes and villains, too many people wait because of a great kill streak or for whatever reason. If you hold off, someone can grab your favorite hero while you're waiting to be killed. Hit the option button, respawn, grab your hero. Now this of course does not apply to the advanced infantry classes, the aerial, enforcer, and infiltrator, as you can have multiple instances of these playing at the same time. Gain your 1,000 points for them, grab the character when you want. There you have it, 15 tips to improve your gameplay and enjoyment of Battlefront 2. I hope you found this video informative and entertaining. If you did, please hit the like button, the subscribe button, notification bell, and leave a comment because it will help the channel grow. And as always, have a great day.